We can't have a great Louisiana without a great New Orleans, and we can't have a great New Orleans unless we have a safe New Orleans. And I think that what we do there to make sure that we look at crime is certainly making sure that state police is here in an incredible way. We have stood up state police here. It has worked. We have seen some of the benefits of that. So we certainly want to make that commitment as well. And then in the longer term, I think we absolutely need to, think of some of the job opportunities that we have. I'm a big believer in workforce development. I think we missed the boat in a lot of ways on workforce development. So that would be one of the things I think we would talk about. Yeah, I don't think that the ACA has been a good thing for America. Given the fact that the Supreme Court said it is the law of the land, I am interested in looking at an option to go ahead and expand coverage. I do believe that the folks who need this coverage expanded are the working folks, make a little bit more money than the Medicaid line, but perhaps not fortunate enough to have an employee-sponsored health care program. I think there's a way we can do it. We got to make sure we know how to get out of it before we get into it in case the federal government changes the rules. So I'll be making sure that we don't mortgage our future. But I do believe that we're talking about providing coverage for folks who actually work and folks who go to school, whose children go to school without children, who go to church with us. So I think there's an opportunity to do some good there. Well, I think we have to, first of all, understand that what got us here is some poor decisions. When I take a look at, blame, I think we have to look at ourselves. We can't blame this on Texas, or we can't blame this on Arkansas. We can't even blame this on Nick Saban. I think we need to understand that what we've chosen to do is divert about $2 billion statutorily away from our general fund, and we've chosen to give away $7.5 billion in the form of tax credits and tax rebates without having a process to review them once we give them out. So I think the best thing that we can do is establish processes that review when we give away money. Are we giving away money to something that is as high of a statewide priority as our general fund? Because our general fund in Louisiana, 80% of it goes to pay for three things: education, medication, incarceration / public safety. In a lot of ways, I think we have divided monies up and haven't asked ourselves, when we are taking them away from a particular source and bringing them to another source, are we moving them to something that is more or less of a priority than those three things? So I think our solution starts absolutely with understanding what we've done on tax credits and tax rebates, and certainly with diversions away from the general fund. So I think our tax policy has to absolutely be updated. We have an antiquated, complicated, outdated tax code. We have so many exclusions and exemptions, and we have a very high rate. That high rate of corporate tax from 4 to 8% is higher than our competitive regional states. We have got to look at a way of updating our tax policy and getting rid of some of the exclusions so that we can, in fact, lower the rate and broaden the base, and that's what we started with. Certainly there's no one in this race that has been more invested in restoring and protecting coastal Louisiana. I think it starts with the execution of our master plan based on science and engineering, and we have a very proactive CPRA, Coastal Protection Restoration Authority, of which I was very involved in the design of that particular legislation. So I believe it's the support there. I believe it's to make sure that the BP monies get used in that particular way. And certainly when you take a look at the BP monies, one thing I will ask the legislature to do is make certain that 100% of those monies go to execute the master plan, and that we have zero tolerance for the misspent of any of those funds, and that we would perhaps look at establishing a felony, criminalize the misuse of any of those funds. We've got to make sure that folks here understand that this is only a down payment, and we've got to make sure our Washington partners understand that we are doing the right thing with the money. While everybody should have a chance to go to college, not everybody needs to go to college, but everybody needs to work. 60% of the jobs that we'll create over the next 10 years will require more than a high school diploma, but less than a 4-year degree. So when I think of higher education, it's much more than a 4-year university. It also includes our community and technical colleges. So I will celebrate and elevate our community technical colleges because I believe that we have a great opportunity there. Yes, the cuts have been too great, and the reason is that what we have done, in my mind, is that we have been more interested in the tax credit, tax rebate side in an unfocused, undisciplined way. And what we've asked in our state over the last 7 years, we've asked 2 classes of people. This particular last legislative session, we added a 3rd. But here before, we've asked 2 classes of people to bear the brunt of our tax policy. It's been our college students and our healthcare providers. So certainly bringing the process to a tax policy is where we need to start. And then I think we have a chance to solve some of our crime. Yeah, I think I would give, like most services, a C. I think the first thing that we need to do is fall in love with our teachers again. I don't believe that everything that has gone wrong is a school teacher's fault. And one of the things that I think that we need to do is dial back the amount of percentage of weight that we put on the teacher's evaluation from the test scores. We now require that a school teacher's evaluation use 50% of their evaluation from the test scores of their students. That's way too much. We need to bring that back. Nobody in the union has anything close to that. I believe the closest is about 35%. We've created a testing mentality in this state. We need to have a balance. Certainly we need to hold our teachers accountable. But I believe that we have a testing mentality as opposed to a teaching mentality, and I will be looking to move in that direction.